Live from Lakewood, Colorado, broadcasting at the Colorado Media School studios, it's sports with Stacks and Shaggy.
Jokic gives it back. Murray, shot clock to 9. Here's Murray off 1 foot. Oh, goodness. What a shot. In the clutch off 1 foot.
Just walked off under his own power on third down. Locke looking end zone for Sutton. And the diving attempt. Did he get it? Touchdown. What a catch. The first NFL touchdown for Drew Lock and his parents love it in Denver.
Check swing roller. Tulowitzki. Colorado's the National League champion.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stacks and Shaggy, part of the Be On Air network at GoMileHigh.com. We're here live at the Colorado Media campus. I'm here with my man Shaggy. How you feeling back there, back on the ones and twos?
Feeling pretty good. Had a nice little weekend, but I'm back to, back to talking sports, and I'm loving it.
Haven't seen you since Thursday. We're back at it once again. And honestly, some good news coming into today concerning with COVID-19 with the NBA. Now, before we get into that, let's play some Rob Burgundy.
Some things going on in sports today that will make your brain fall out of your skull. Because I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind.
It's sports.
All around the clock. Sports all the time.
That's the concept of the news.
Oh, that's never going to work. That's ridiculous.
As we said, good news coming out of the NBA. No concerning coronavirus. No positive tests out of 346. So this is tests taken from July 13th. And there was none positive after Russell Westbrook a week ago had tested positive for the virus. And which is on the right track. Out of all the leagues, the NHL is actually probably having the best results. I only mainly say that because they've had more tests for sure. But the NBA, they were having, it seemed like a new test every day was coming positive, and for them to have 0 tests, you're on the right track for sure.
Oh, seriously. They tested 394 players and 394 players, and 0 of them came up positive.
Okay, and
that's perfect right now. That's what we like to see, especially right before the scrimmage games.
Yeah, and we have a little bit more of that coming up here for you later on in the show. But, just to be on the right track, it seemed like we were going, backwards. We'll be starting up play again within the next week. Very exciting for the NBA. Now, some sadder news to be on a lighter note. I broke the good news. Let's get on the sad news now. The state of California is postponing fall sports to the spring, including college football. Now, this could be the first domino affecting, the first domino to have the rest of them fall. As many would imagine, this could be, very, very big for sure. But others would beg to differ with, wanting to see the sport like football played in the spring. What would your thoughts be on that? Would you rather have football be in the spring or in the fall?
Well, they have spring football in middle school and as well as in junior league, but that's that time. And when you think of high school football, you really think a lot of these athletes, junior, senior year, they're really trying to probably some of them are like triple star athletes, triple sport athletes playing, track or running cross country, or even then, playing basketball. It probably will cut into that, or even then it might cut into say they're a senior and they need to start going and prepping for college or preparing to go to college and prepare for a team. That cuts into that. And to me, playing my senior season or prepping to go to college, I'm rather going to my college.
And see, I asked you mainly because I'm kind of on the fence. I'm with either or. I feel playing in the spring is just reversing playing in the fall. You're not going to have, the cold weather games late in the season. You would rather have them early on in the season, which would actually be fun because now your bowl games or whatnot would be in a spring-like atmosphere, sunshine and whatnot. It would be definitely weird though, because you're accustomed to spring football or fall football for sure. And I don't know, man. I'm just. You said you're a spring guy, but I'm leaning towards the fence, man.
Yeah.
It could either go either way for me on this one.
So I have also added some breaking news, and this is not really breaking, but this is going on for the Rockies. The Rockies will play their first scrimmage game on tomorrow at 6:05 versus the Rangers. So anyone that's interested in baseball.
Yeah, and for that, Scott Oiberg is questionable. He has a strain from Sunday night, a scrimmage the Rockies had. Some notes to that. The Rockies are going to be cutting down to a 30-man roster by Thursday. And with that, with guys, veteran slugger Matt Kemp, who has been told he'll make the 30-man roster, continues to impress, so that's something to look forward to. I don't know what this scrimmage is going to be showing, or the exhibition game, the exhibition game against the Rangers will be showcasing names like Nolan or Trevor Story.
Yeah, I mean, I could really see them playing like 1 or 2 innings, and after that, like, not even riding the bench because they don't want even in the bench or the dug pit. They're going to be sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
They're going to be fans in the stands.
And so with Oiberg being out, we could maybe see John Gray, who is Sunday night, who played in Sunday night's inter-squad game. He served up a home run to a utility player, Chris Owings. And with John Gray, I mean, you probably want to throw him back in there if he's not having the best. You see him giving up home runs. You might want to throw him out there, get him back into the groove of things for sure.
Yeah, you really do. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, to cut it, I just want to see how we really react to playing these 60 games in these 66 days. I just really want to see how our team comes back and how the chemistry is going to be, with the shortened baseball season. Well, I mean, we're really playing a third of the games. It's going to be very interesting to see. So it's really anyone's season this year.
And that not being the only squad making their return this week, the Broncos, they're reporting on Thursday, and we have a little bit of a layout for the Broncos and their return. So they will report Thursday, get tested. Quarterbacks and rookies, is that right, will get tested Friday, Saturday, Sunday, quarantine. And then I guess with that we'll find out. Well, no, the test results have to come in within a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll wait and see who has the negative. And honestly, it's a week process because then you still have to wait for the test results.
Yeah.
And so, but
and then disinfect the whole entire area.
Yeah. So they're disinfecting the facilities Thursday, Friday. Quarterbacks and rookies reporting. They'll quarantine over the weekend, and then Monday, everyone will, I believe, return back. Which would you have everyone return back after you get your test results?
I feel like you got to do like positional practice. I mean, you got to have the offensive line meet at a location. You got to have the receivers and quarterbacks meet at a location in practice. You got to have the defense because I mean, if you have everyone together, it's just putting more risk and putting more players at risk to get the virus, and you don't want that. I mean, you don't want to have these players getting it because it's just going to mean more publicity towards your team, and it's not the good publicity.
Well, it's exactly what you're trying to prevent. I don't know why they're. I mean, I wouldn't report back until you get your test results for sure, or until the teams get their test results. And that's not just testing players; you're testing everyone within, the coaching staff, all that. I just saw, this is not from a NFL coach, but this is from an NBA coach just out, Greg Popovich. He said he doesn't want to die from the virus. And I know there's some 60-plus old coaches in the NFL who don't want to contract the virus and get sick.
The Rockets head coach, he's 60-something.
And I mean, it goes for all sports for sure. So you want to look out for those older, those older elders who are part of the game, mainly the coaches, because come on, those are mainly the only guys who are probably very vulnerable to the disease out of all these organizations. All these young players, you could catch it, contract it. Every young player we've seen has lost it, right?
Every young player came back fine.
Yeah. It doesn't really seem to have the same narrative for these older, older guys, in which, knock on wood, we hope no one older gets it of note.
Oh, seriously, it's It's and honestly, I could see a situation where we could even see them coaching from a bubble away. Like, they could have their own individual bubble, and they could be coaching through earphones because I guess all the players are going to be mic'd up. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure, man. And getting to the bubble, we'll have a little bit of that coming up, as we said. We're teasing some of that here later on, man. Exciting, only a week away. Ooh, I don't know, Jacob, Shaggy, one of the two. I can't use the government name. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hey, this is Sports with Stacks and Shaggy. Coming up, we got a little bit of some bubble watch for y'all. Concerning some Nuggets. Bo playing small forward. I don't know. Stay tuned. This is Stacks and Shaggy. Be on there.
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it, and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school, but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
Hey Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man! Live in the now!
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Showing!
So I'm taking a trip over to Tibet, see the sights, climb a hill or two. But I remember I got one guy out here who I actually know. So I give an old ringy-dingy to the Lama.
What?
The Dalai Lama, his laminescence, flowing robes, the grace, bald, striking really. I says to the Lama, hey, you remember that round I caddied for you down in Shangri-La? Well, apparently some station out in Lakewood taped the whole thing.
Oh.
See, the Lama's a big hitter. Nailed 2 eagles in a row that day. Well, he says, what station could have possibly gotten all the way out to my sacred holy lands, the Shangri? I says it was none other than GoMileHigh.com, Lama. They got the best sports coverage in the state. The Lama actually tips me this time, 2-1. So he pretty much stiffed me again. But I got him hooked on GoMileHigh.com. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
That's great.
GoMileHigh.com.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Uppan Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org.
I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Never gets old.
Gotta love Ron Burgundy, man.
Little bit of bubble watch coming up for you. Man, I'm excited. It's getting closer and closer to game day. You know me, I'm a hoops guy. You know I love my hoops, man. I love my hoops probably more than you love football. Is that debatable?
Oh, that we should have as a...
Do you love? I don't know. I don't think you
Or
love
we could have
football as
a
much
who
as,
loves college football more, who loves Nebraska or who loves Texas A&M more, me or Miles.
Oh, I don't know. Miles. I know. I got one. Who has a bigger man crush? You on Tom Brady or Miles on Luka?
Oh, that's a good one too.
Hey, no, man. Speaking of Luka Doncic, well, his teammate Boban Marjanovic, he's getting into some shouting fights with Tobias Harris. Just a couple part of the antics of the NBA bubble, which kind of you expect some. I don't know. If you were you were placed in this environment with someone who you're going to be an opponent, who's going to be your opponent in the coming weeks, it kind of makes, I think, the competition a little bit more exciting because it's not like you're flying back home. Nah, you're going back to hotel rooms and you guys are in very close proximity to each other to where, I don't know, man, it just, as I said, man, it brings the whole competition aspect to it a little bit more. Man, it just gets my heart pumping a little bit.
Oh, it's exciting. I mean, I've been watching JaVale McGee's YouTube page, and it's been so exciting. I know we were talking about before the show.
The food hasn't been exciting.
That's exactly what I was just about to bring up. The food hasn't been exciting, so it makes me think, I'm like, what are they giving for the Nuggets? Because that's the Lakers. That's like the cream of the crop for the NBA.
And do you remember like when you had field trips as a kid?
Yeah.
What was your most hated like part of that sack lunch? You remember they'd give you like a piece of fruit. It was like an apple or an orange.
Yo, know what I hated? When you went to school, like not the school, like the field trip stuff, but when you went to school lunch and they gave you the pizza and it was the cardboard pizza, that was my least favorite.
It was
thing.
like a knockoff,
like a knockoff Totino's,
a knockoff deep dish.
Yeah, knockoff Totino's pizza, but it's like it looked like they made it there with cardboard.
And it's funny because how are you going to be giving some of the most paid athletes was it free reduced lunch? How are you going to be giving these guys free reduced lunch? These are some of the most physically toned, as I said, highest paid athletes in the world. And these guys, this is why they're breaking the bubble, because they're trying to get food delivered. You saw Rashawn Holmes. You saw the story with him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, then you're giving him crap about trying to get Postmates. It's like, well, if I'm getting this sack lunch or I'm getting, Red Lobster, I'd rather order Red Lobster, especially if I can afford it.
Hey, all I could say is the bubble seems very, very fun. They got their own little hangouts, their own little, where they have a barbershop coming up, but the food there is the least exciting thing, I think, about the whole bubble.
So I think we got to call it the 2K bubble, like the 2K barbershop, honestly.
2K barbershop. Like,
it is, you got it.
Like the playground. Like the playground.
Yeah, like
it kind of looks like they planned it to be like that. Getting back to the Nuggets, though, with them being in the bubble, they got a scrimmage coming up, and it's really exciting because the Nuggets Twitter handle has been consistently dropping content of practices ever since.
We saw a Joker slam. We had a Joker slam.
Yeah,
signing.
I mean, it looked like a Joker slam. It didn't look like a
I mean, he didn't lift off the ground, but he still like slammed the ball.
Getting back to that, it looked like it looked like, I wouldn't say a soft practice, but there was no defense for sure. Everyone's dunking on each other. I retweeted something on Twitter how they exposed Bol a little bit, having two role players dunk on him. I think it was Mason Plumlee, and I don't know if it was Noah Vonleh, the other one. Now, you can't do that to a cornerstone piece. You can't just – that's like I think you remember a few years back when Paxton Lynch, I mean, obviously he was a bust, but it was Will Parks. He had posted on Twitter him – picking off Paxton Lynch as him saying, it was a good play in practice, but people thought it was him just trying to expose Paxton Lynch as a terrible quarterback.
What if it's both?
No, Bol, man. Hey, we teased a little bit. Small forward.
Oh,
small forward. Bol, small forward.
We were already having.
Could you imagine this lineup? Hold on. Imagine this lineup: Nikola Jokic at the 5. Now, you could put – who would you put at the 4? I'd put Jeremy Grant at the 4.
You put Jeremy Grant at the 4?
Yeah. Well, this is just for now. Now, I doubt –
So then you're putting 3? You're putting Bol at the 3 then?
This is my fantasy team. This is not going to happen. This is not going to happen at all. I don't even think Bol is going to see any minutes in the Nuggets NBA return. But this is my fantasy team. I like Jeremy Grant there because – 4, you need length there, okay?
And he has some energy.
And he has phenomenal lateral quickness. He's quick on his feet. Bo's small, skinny. I don't even trust him defending his own position, yet alone the 3. But I still put him at the 3 for offensive purposes. Probably get down some chase.
So you'd rather put Bol there over MPJ?
No, I was just about to say, put MPJ at the 2.
MPJ at the 2.
I put him at the 2.
MPJ.
This is a fantasy team. Do not get at me too hard.
So I guess, yeah, so you're taking Gary Harris away then?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Gary has not been.
I was high on Gary Harris when we drafted him, but he's injury prone and he hasn't lived up to the hype he was out of the draft.
He's been a shell of himself probably for the last 2 years. I mean, the corner, the kick out pass corner 3 to Gary Harris has probably been the most inefficient play in basketball. It just is. And that's, I mean, he's a versatile.
He's decent on his defense.
Yeah, but
I mean, you gotta score, man. You
gotta score. Yeah, exactly. And then again, the Nuggets are actually building this kind of grit and grind reputation with Michael Malone under the helm, and hopefully we see that. You know, before they closed down shop for the NBA, or they didn't close it down, but suspended it. The Nuggets were one of the top defensive rated teams. So hopefully we could get back, back to where we left off.
So here's an interesting take. If 2K21 adds in the Orlando Arena, would you play in that?
Oh, yeah.
So if they added in the COVID Arena, would you play with that?
The COVID Arena? No,
it's got to be the COVID Arena.
What is it in the Magic? I don't know if
No, it's not in the Magic.
Orlando.
It's in the training facility. It's in one of their training facilities. They have 3 different actual places they're playing at, but it's not actually at the Magic Stadium.
It's literally going to be a G League.
It's going to be like
It is. I mean, I don't know. I told you, I love my hoops, bro. I will watch a Maine Red Claws versus Austin Toros game on NBA TV if it's on, bro. I love my hoops, bro. You know what it is, bro.
Speaking of, did you know that the Clippers aren't even the second best team in LA? It's actually the LA Sparks. They have more national championships in G League.
Hey, those girls can hoop, man. Shout out my lady hoopers. They're in their bubble. They're in their bubble, man. It seems like their food is a little bit better. I saw some girls, they were posting videos of the salad bar. Come on. And then these guys that are over here eating free reduced lunch.
I know. I mean,
they're not treating no respect.
Yeah, seriously. Looks like a McDonald's breakfast out there.
No, man. All right, well, getting back to the Nuggets, we know that they have one of the hardest schedules coming up. We talked about it. Is this a good or a bad thing? I'm saying it's a good thing. I think you got to hit the ground running. Or you don't have to, but it's better to hit the ground running. You see how it affects teams in the NFL when they get that first-round bye. And, the other team that they face has already got that momentum. I think with the Nuggets having that hard schedule, they're going to be that team that got that momentum. They're not getting that first round bye. They have to play both LA teams. They got to play the Jazz. I'm not too worried about the Jazz ever since the Rudy Gobert situation. You got to play the Heat. And then you also have to play, there's a few more Western Conference. I think you have to play the Blazers.
Yeah, they play the Blazers as well as they play the Toronto Raptors, and they play the Clippers, and it's the Lakers.
And as you said, the Jazz, you got to play the Jazz.
You got to play the Jazz.
OKC, you got to play OKC, and I think you have to play Minnesota. I think you're playing all divisional opponents, if I'm not mistaken. And with all those guys being said, both LA teams being as hot as they are, 2 of the top contenders in the Western Conference, the Raptors, the reigning champions.
So they play the Heat first, and then they go to the Spurs. Or no, they go to the Thunder, and then Spurs, and then Trailblazers, Jazz, Lakers, and then Clippers.
Now, I said Jazz I'm not too worried about. The only teams I think I'm really worried about is L.A., both L.A. teams. Miami for sure, because Miami, they play kind of a similar style as Denver. As I said, Denver.
I'm worried about OKC, man, honestly.
Yeah, OKC could be a
scary dark horse
team, a sleeper team that could creep up on you. And this is a chance. Every team has a 50-50 chance to win the title. This is probably the best chance or the closest chance that Chris Paul is ever going to get.
And they'll still have an asterisk around it.
But who cares? He got a ring. He can put that under his resume still.
So what asterisk of a ring is bigger, this asterisk or Kevin Durant's asterisk of a ring?
This probably, because Kevin Durant, people could say what they want. You can't say Kevin Durant has 2 Finals MVPs.
That is true, and a regular season MVP in 2014.
Yeah, but that was like when he was with the Thunder. I'm saying with Golden State, he was the best player on that squad. You could say what he want. He joined, and it was probably the softest move by anybody. Now, I don't care if it's a superstar, role player, anybody. But still, would you turn down Kevin Durant?
No.
Like right
no.
now, even if he did something like that, if he had a reputation as a soft cake player that would switch up on you, would you turn him down? I wouldn't. This guy could score 40 in his sleep. He could score 30 points just quietly. You would in a flash. Arguably one of the best scorers of all time. I'll say top 5.
Oh, easily top 5, easily.
And
so it's crazy that they had 2 top 5 scorers, if not top 10 scorers on that. 3 top 10 scorers on that team, and Steph, Clay, and Curry, or Steph, Clay, and KD.
Yeah, Clay gets so underappreciated.
Oh,
Clay
dude,
gets so underappreciated.
seriously, his defense is so underappreciated. Honestly, him and Draymond for the defense.
Hey, so I know so with the Nets, you remember a couple weeks ago with them, quarantine and all that, and them getting about 7 players tested for the virus.
Yes.
And we were putting them in the position for the MLS, like how the MLS team, how they decided to sit out of the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And we were asking, if the Nets were to decide to sit out of the bubble, what would be the team you'd want to see to replace them? One of those. I would want to see the Warriors. I would want to see what the Warriors could do with just the Curry team. I don't think they're gonna play with Clay. I think Clay's out.
Yeah, I don't want to even see Clay right now. I don't want to risk him getting a potential injury either.
Yeah.
I'm all about player safety, but for me, that's a hard one because I'm going to pick a team from the East. What Eastern team would I want? You know what? Since you picked the worst team, I might have to pick the worst team. I want to see the Atlanta Hawks in there with a Trae Young-led team.
With Trae Young, Steph Curry 2.0. Steph Curry 2.0.
Look at Miles'
No, he's not Steph Curry. Come on, man. Steph Curry wasn't putting up numbers in Trae Young's second year. Yet, Trae Young is given the green light to do whatever he wants. But Steph was too. Steph played with Monte Ellis. That's probably the reason why. Steph probably held back to where Trae Young is at right now. I'll give you that. But Trae Young is he's beating all the odds. Everyone thought he was a bum.
Stay
Man, he's averaging
the weed.
He's averaging how many points is Trae Young averaging this year? How many points is Trae Young averaging this year? 30 points per game.
30 points a game, but yeah.
Man,
you know what's crazy?
What?
3rd most shots made for 3-pointers, but he also has the most shot attempts as well. So he has, yeah.
No, is he a guy y'all want to start my franchise with? No, he's 6 foot. I like 2-way players. I'm good on these small guys.
He wasn't even the best out of that draft, honestly. Luka.
Oh, Luka, yeah, of course. Luka's got, what is he?
Generational talent.
6'7", well, yeah. If he doesn't have if he gets an athletic body and doesn't have a Larry Bird body for the rest of his career, then yeah, generational talent. Hey man, we're coming back to you. We got the leading market in town to talk about, that blue and orange. You love sunrises. We're gonna come back to you on the other side of the break. You are listening to Be On Air Network at GoMileHigh.com.
Hey Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man. Live in the now.
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Showing.
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school, but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
I'm taking a trip over to Tibet, see the sights, climb a hill or two. But I remember, oh man, I got one guy out here who I actually know. So I give an old ringy-dingy to the Lama.
What?
The Dalai Lama, his laminescence, flowing robes, the grace, bald, striking really. I says to the Lama, hey, you remember that round I caddied for you down in Shangri-La? Well, apparently some station out in Lakewood taped the whole thing. See, the Llama's a big hitter. Nailed 2 eagles in a row that day. Well, he says, what station could have possibly gotten all the way out to my sacred holy lands, the Shangri? I says it was none other than GoMileHigh.com, Llama. They got the best sports coverage in the state. The Llama actually tips me this time, 2-1. So he pretty much stiffed me again, but I got him hooked on GoMileHigh.com. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
That's great.
GoMileHigh.com.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Uppan Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org. The worst defender in the league, the worst, Trae Young, man. They still giving me some stuff for my Trae Young take. Miles back here are what would you give your title? Our executive director, self-proclaimed. Now our man back here, Miles, talking a little bit of hoops with us. But as we said before the break, transitioning a little bit to more of a bigger market in town. The Broncos making a return, man, and really what I think is more bigger than the Broncos is the NFL preseason. The NFL has suggested for the preseason to play no games, and before we get into anything else, I just want to say this is kind of a disappointing decision, I just say, for players who are trying to, your Phillip Lindsays, your Chris Harris Jr.'s, your undrafted guys who have a chip on their shoulder and really have no, this is their last chance, their last route that they could take to get into the league is showing who they what they got during these preseason games. And if the NFL takes that away, guys like that, your underdogs, you'll see less and less of them. And I think that's just going to be very devastating. That's going to take a entertainment aspect. Everyone loves their underdog. Man, you wouldn't see, man, it's just.
Yeah, and everyone knows the third preseason game, that's basically the dress rehearsal game. I mean, that's most of the time that's basically the regular season with quotation, marks around it, regular season game of the preseason. So with them taking that out and they're not going to have any preseason games, does that really mean that the first regular season game we're going to be seeing, teams with a lot of false starts or teams like, not in chemistry or don't have coordinates together because they didn't run through all the drills through a preseason or legitimate practice? I mean, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of that stuff and a lot more calls and a lot more, bad plays in the first couple weeks of the season because we didn't have a preseason. I get now, some of these big marquee name players don't play, but
for the other point of view, devil's advocate, for the fan, I'd say not the crazy, nuts fan, the fans like us who bleed sweat football. Guys like us, the casual fan, they probably love to see the preseason be abolished for sure. Because it's to them it's relentless. It's need.
Added on nonsense.
It's added on nonsense, as you said, and man, it's a waste of time to them. To me, I love as much football as I can get, and going back to that underdog story, it segues you to more guys you didn't know about, and I would honestly prefer a guy that no one knew about become a legitimate star instead of a guy that everyone knew about. I know it's just something about with like when you're listening to mainstream music, you listen to that artist before, he was an underground artist until, everyone else started listening to him, opposed to someone who everyone's been listening to for, forever.
Yeah. So another reason why I really like the preseason too is when you get a player that you really like in college and you've been watching your whole entire college career, and then he makes it onto an NFL roster, but he doesn't get drafted onto that NFL roster, you want to see him play in the preseason just so you can see if he can make it onto that roster. I mean, you're really going for those players, and I see a lot of those from Nebraska. I mean, it's always cool to see that.
This is Stacks and Shaggy on Be On There Network at GoMileHigh.com. You can follow him at Jake_Shadler. Follow me at Amato_isballin on Twitter. You got any Instagram? I don't really use Instagram.
I have an Instagram. It's jshadler145.
You got him right there. Get at him if you want some more sports content. We're talking Broncos talk here. Getting back to it now. They need to report to training camp by Thursday, and it seems like every other day we're getting more news. Now, as of recent, it's been good news. It's been good news. No one really has been tested positive for the virus, and so we're leaning towards the right way. I'm just waiting. When's that next bombshell, to where it kind of feels like we're going back into a step backwards.
I mean, could we see it in these next upcoming weeks? Honestly, we really could. Honestly,
and my mind is, could we see it in the next upcoming days? And then it's going to be a day-by-day process, as it has been for the last couple of months. And it just is, as close as we are, it would be very devastating, because right now everyone has the expectation there is going to be sports.
Does that not make our job more fun, though, talking about this? Because tell me not many sportscasters have gone through what's going through right now. Seriously.
Yeah. No, hey, we're living in some unique time for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in some unique time. But I would, as a sports fan, I would put this just as in, don't expect sports to be there yet. Because I know this is just as a human reaction thing. Because when you expect something to be there and it doesn't happen, then you're just devastated, you're disappointed. But when you don't expect it and it doesn't happen, well, it's like, well, we kind of knew something. We should have figured. So I'm saying for all sports fans, don't be, grasping on hope that there will be a playoff tournament or there will be an NFL season. There's still, as I said, a day-by-day process.
It is. It's going to be very interesting to see. So, but if we did have an NFL season, I mean, what players could you really say that are on a hot seat, like for good teams? Or I mean, any ones that you could say, like,
Yeah, man. So this was an interesting one. This is the one we was talking before the show. I don't want to keep it in the local, and I'm gonna say Jeff Hireman. Jeff Hireman, tight end for the Broncos. You got Noah Fant. You just signed a Nick Vannett, who I don't know. He might be one of those guys also who, he's just a signee. He doesn't have a guaranteed spot on the roster, but it's still competition.
Is it Nick Vannett out of Iowa?
Yeah, out of Iowa.
Yeah, they churn out tight ends though. So
yeah. So and then you also have Albert O. I'm calling him Albert O because we're terrible at names at this show. We butcher them like lumberjacks in the middle of the woods, bro. So Albert O, you're from Mizzou. I know you're a Mizzou guy. I know about you, man. No, I'm not calling you Albert O because I don't know your last name. I know you, man. And then you also have Jake Butt, which I feel, as you have a man crush on Brady, I feel John Elway got some man crush on Jake Butt.
I feel like you were about to say that you had a man crush on Jake Butt. I was like, wait,
no.
what?
No, man, guy can't even step on the field, man. Come on now. He can't even get on the field. I'm not really too highly on Jake Butt. You could either cut Hireman or Jake Butt. I think that's why I'm choosing Hireman out of this, because they still want to see what Jake Butt could do in a healthy season. And so that is my player who is on the hot seat, keeping in the local. And now I know you got someone. Who's your man, Jacob?
I want to go coach. I really want to go coach. I was thinking about players, but I was like, I couldn't think of a player right off the bat, but I want to go coach. And I'm going to go Dan Quinn, honestly. The last couple of years, their defense has been teetering, and he's known as a defensive-minded head coach. He came from that Seattle system, coaching that Legion of Boom, and then he went to, Atlanta, had a defense that was decent, wasn't ever really good. They have a lot of speed. They had Vic, Beasley lead the NFL in sacks that one year, but since then they've really become a shell of themselves, and they're not the same defense that they once were, or they weren't that same team that they were in 2016. So I could see a year if the Falcons don't start off hot, he could be losing his job.
Man, has anyone else had a quicker 15 minutes of fame than the Atlanta Falcons? Maybe Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore. Maybe. Oh, man, it haunts their soul. I think it does. Atlanta, it's not that y'all fault. Dan Quinn, that was terrible coaching. It's terrible strategy. You're right. I agree with you. Dan Quinn, you need to go, man. I'm going to keep it with you in the same direction. I'm going to keep it with coaching and GMs. Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien?
This man,
Bill O'Idiot?
He should have been gone a long time ago, man. And, I know why he got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. It was because of personal issues. And, this goes back to Shaq on NBA Inside when he said, him and Pat Riley, they didn't see eye to eye, but they still won championships. Bill O'Brien, he just, man, you
Didn't
can't
Michael
be
Jordan
stubborn.
not even talk to Dennis Rodman for some
Man,
parts
you
of it?
can't be stubborn, man. You can't. It might be a personal vendetta, but you know what? When you have a task at mind and you have the same goal, then you set that stuff aside. You could tell Bill O'Brien doesn't have championship goals or ambitions.
No, he doesn't have those. Yeah.
No, because he let a personal interference get in the way of probably one of the worst trades and one of the best steals in NFL history.
Oh, seriously, and it's going to help Kyler Murray win the MVP next year.
Oh, man, you too high on that. We're gonna, hey, we're gonna get on this, man. We could get on this for days. I'm big on Kyler Murray too, but man, you are way bigger on him than me. Now I'm big on the second-year quarterback. I don't think necessarily Kyler Murray. I wrote a whole article on how the last two MVPs were second-year quarterbacks and why Kyler Murray could be one of those guys next up. But that could be the same narrative for Drew Lock. It could be the same narrative, and I know you want to get into the analytics and all of that, but then again, remember this. Last two MVPs have been second-year quarterbacks. So Lamar Jackson, Drew Lock and Kyler Murray are way better quarterbacks than Lamar Jackson. He's just a better football player than those guys. Come on, now, would you expect Lamar Jackson to have the year he would have had? No. And I think it's going to be the same with Drew Lock.
Greg Roman. Greg Roman's a heck of an offensive coordinator, a heck of an offensive mind, man.
Hey, Lamar Jackson, he's going to be one of the topics in our next segment. Some of the overall ratings you don't think they deserve. This is the Be On Air Network at GoMileHigh.com.
Hey, Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man. Live in the now.
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Showing.
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a chance, a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
I'm taking a trip over to Tibet, see the sights, climb a hill or two. But I remember, oh man, I got one guy out here who I actually know. So I give an old ringy-dingy to the Lama.
What?
The Dalai Lama, his laminescence, flowing robes, grace, bald, striking really. I says to the Lama, hey, you remember that round I caddied for you down in Shangri-La? Well, apparently some station out in Lakewood taped the whole thing. See, the Lama's a big hitter. Nailed 2 eagles in a row that day. Well, he says, what station could have possibly gotten all the way out to my sacred holy lands, the Shangri? I says it was none other than GoMileHigh.com, Lama. They got the best sports coverage in the state. The Lama actually tips me this time, 2-1. So he pretty much stiffed me again. But I got him hooked on GoMileHigh.com. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
That's great.
GoMileHigh.com.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Up Penn Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org. Hey, have you ever met someone who will pre-order Madden for like the last 5 years and like spend $100 on the pre-order? Oh, hey, Shaggy, how you doing? How you doing?
I think I look in the mirror at that guy every morning.
Man, Madden 21 set to release the last week of August. I'm not too sure the exact date on it. I'm probably gonna end up buying it like 2 weeks later. I'm not a pre-order guy. I'm a pre-order guy.
Yeah. I like to play the game right when it comes out,
now, 2K,
especially with these sports games.
2K, I'm a pre-order guy. I got my copy already pre-ordered.
Did you? I have to get mine copy already pre-ordered.
No.
Did you get the Legend copy? You got the one with Kobe on it?
I got the Legend. You already
That's
know.
the one to get.
And I'm going to get a hard copy of it. Bro.
I'm going to get a hard copy too.
Yeah.
I don't want like that stuff on the game. I actually want it on like in my hand, like the hard copy.
Now, before we was like to name this segment, we had a little name for it, the creator back there. Shaggy, according to Madden. But before we get to according to Madden, we're gonna relate what Madden has, these offenses and defenses, and we're gonna relate that to actual real life and see if Madden if we agree with Madden, if we disagree. But before that, let's see if we agree with Madden in these. And I'm gonna go give you a couple overall ratings. I'm gonna see if some of these ratings, would you agree with them, or is this too generous, or is it, too lenient? So I got 3 names for you.
Let the games begin.
Let the games begin. Now, the name that we teased before, Lamar Jackson, they have him 94 overall, which is impressive because he was 75 last year, 20 overall leap, 94 overall. I think that's about right.
I'd say that's about right too. I'd say his accuracy probably is like a little low 90s, but that speed rating is going to really carry him.
That's what brings him down. Yeah,
like that speed rating is really going to carry him.
I think him getting exposed by the Titans last year holds
and the Chargers the year before.
Yeah, holds not even just that. Like last year mainly, because this is based off of last year's stats and whatnot, and what these guys based it off of. I think that holds him back from being higher than a 96 or 97. That he got exposed bad to where he. He's a one-dimensional quarterback. All right, two more names. We're going to get onto our main focus of the segment. J.J. Watt, 98 overall.
98 overall. Wow, they're still getting
this guy has
love,
missed
man.
32 games in the last 4 seasons. This guy is 1 rating away from a 99.
That's got to be a generosity, man. Like that's got to be like a like a respect rating.
It has to be. It has to be because he does do a lot of. You think it has to do with a lot of players off the field stuff too?
Like Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
Man,
I didn't know Walter Payton Man of the Year
not
award.
Not even that. He does a lot for the community.
Factor into it.
He's a 99 overall person in real life.
Yeah, he is a 99 overall person. That is true.
Yeah,
and a 99 overall actor on those commercials.
So, hey, man, they might just be showing J.J. Watt a little bit too much love. Maybe some love that has nothing to do with his football skill. All right, man. Last one. Gronkowski at a 95 overall. Someone who hasn't played for a whole year. Now, I understand it. It's Gronk. But are you really high on the guy? His last 2 years,
Gronk's a walking 99 overall Madden player.
Bro,
Gronk's a walking around 99 overall Madden player. That's what you build in a factory. When you want to build the My Player, you build a Gronkowski. You can't tell me that when you built the My Player.
I can understand in Gronk's peak, in his prime. Gronk in his prime is 99, but Gronk is not in his prime, bro. His last 2 years, he was banged up. He wasn't even able to play in one Super Bowl.
But think about this. He gets the year off. He gets to take some time off. He gets to recuperate his body. He gets to fix up some stuff. He looks slender. He looks like he's cut off some weight. What if he gets back into football shape and then with the, long preseason, because we've all seen him working out with Tom Brady. We've all seen him working out
who would you want to party with more, Gronkowski or Dennis Rodman? That's a good one.
That's a good one, man. Probably Gronk. Or J.R. Smith or Gronk.
No, I'd probably go Gronk because Dennis Rodman's into like a lot of weird stuff. And I don't know. I'm not into getting my nipple pierced. And so I'm good on all that stuff, man. Getting back to it. Let's get back to.
Cocaine's a bad drug.
Yeah. In the great words of the great Rick James. Hey, now let's swing it back to what you created for this wonderful segment, my man Jacob. According to, and I'm gonna swing this to you now as you have all the details and all the questionnaire.
All right. So this is our little game that we got going tonight, and it's according to Madden, and I have a couple of probably about 5 things that they have that are offensive and defensive ratings compared in the NFL. So according to Madden, the Eagles' offense is as good as the Chiefs' offense.
Bro, it's just, you remember last year how the Raiders, I would go on this, the Raiders' offense was like damn near the best playbook in the game.
Yeah.
Bro, like, come on, it's just, I don't know, man.
Think about this.
But why are they putting it, though, there? That's my thought. Why are they putting, I think it has a lot to do with the speed. You have a lot of speed in those systems, and they cater a lot to the speed. Does it have anything to do with Andy Reid, do you think?
They're also giving a lot of love to those receivers still. Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson. They've got to have like at least an 80 overall rating for them to have an 80 something. So according to Madden, the Raiders' offense is as good as the Raiders' offense.
Yeah. You said the Ravens?
Yeah, the Raiders' offense is as good as the Raiders' offense.
You said, hold on. You said the Raiders' offense is
as good as the Ravens' offense.
Raven. I was about to say, bro. You just said one team was as good as themselves. Hold on, man.
So the Ravens were as good as the Raiders' offense. They both have an 83 overall offense in Madden.
Now what? I just want to know why. Why just critique and just no. Break it down. What? Now is the Ravens' offense really that special, or is Lamar Jackson just?
They got 3 really good tight ends. They got a good offensive line. They got good.
I mean, they have a great coach.
And they got a great coach.
A great conservative coach who's used the same system for the last decade. And
they have good receivers, too. They got great receivers, too. They got Willie Snead. They got Marquise Brown. So, I mean,
they're not really too good. And Willie Snead drops a lot of passes for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Marquise Brown, no. Now, we'll take this back to a reality. Now, he is the real deal. Antonio Brown's cousin? Is that Antonio Brown's cousin?
Yep, that's Antonio Brown's
the resemblance. And in other words, Antonio Brown retired again today. We'll see him again. We'll see him with his antics.
Yeah, we don't want to add that in, but somehow we had to figure out a way to add that a little bit in there.
Oh, yeah, we had to, because it wasn't a headline. It was just
more A-B stuff.
Yeah, more A-B stuff, man.
Back on track.
Yeah, if you want to follow up on A-B, go follow Jake_Shadler.
Yeah, if you want to follow A-B, I think it's more at Amato was balling.
No, hey, man. You gave him the wrong Twitter feed. You forgot it. You forgot an underscore in there. And then, I'm not going to tell you where it's at, though.
I'm not going to tell you. All right. That's for the people out there, not for me.
They got to find out. That's you.
Okay, according to Madden, the 49ers have a better offense than their defense. How? Like
Jimmy Garoppolo's the GOAT, bro. No.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
In the words of a 15-year-old. Jimmy Garoppolo, man, like, if you just put him, like, hand off the ball like 20 times, man.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. He didn't pass the ball past the second quarter. He had 8 passing attempts in the NFC Championship
Good
game.
Friend of mine, Larry Booker, I don't know where you're at, former Colorado Media School. He said Jimmy Garoppolo is a modern-day Rex Grossman. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go that harsh. Rex Grossman had 5 interceptions in the game, but he was Jimmy Garoppolo was a quarterback who was in the Super Bowl that had no business being there because of a phenomenal defense that carried him there.
And I guess that offense that he had around him is better than that defense. That's what they're saying in Madden.
Yeah, and that's why. Why do you pre-order this game?
Why? Hey, I ask myself the same thing every year, and then the only answer is, oh yeah,
it's football.
EA is the only one that owns a football game, and I can't play another football game.
You know that 2K's are making a football game in the works.
Yeah,
right?
they are, but it's in the works for next year for 2K20 or 2K22.
Yeah, that's whack.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah,
so according to Madden, Trey White is 10 overall ratings worse than Stephon Gilmore.
Say it one more time. What?
Tre'Davious White is 10 overalls worse than Stephon Gilmore. The second best corner in the league is 10 overall. Yeah. So put that in perspective. Stephon Gilmore's a 99, so that they're saying Tre'Davious White is an 89. Tre'Davious White's a 93 at least.
Yeah, Tre'Davious White is a good man. Tre'Davious Island.
He's a good corner.
Tre'Davious Island, and he's a hitter too. For a corner, man, come on now, he could pop.
Him and Ramsey can play the wood.
Yeah. Now, if if he has a Gronk running at him, of course he's gonna get flattened. But he could pop you here.
He held his own in that one game. I will admit, in 2017, he held his own. He had Gronk all mad, and Gronk smashed him.
I did have to bring up a Gronk, and you did have an example of it. I forgot he plays in Buffalo.
Yeah,
he had to play Gronk twice a year, so his body is built for that NFL play. Tre'Davious White, one of my favorite defensive backs for sure. I like Casey Hayward. I wonder where they have him. Casey Hayward, he's definitely fell off from a year or two ago when he led the league in interceptions.
Chris Harris and Casey Hayward play for the Chargers, and that's insane.
That's insane.
And then they have Derwin James over the top,
Bro,
and then Joey Bosa. And
you talk about going back to the Niners, you talk about defenses that carried their offense. Man, the Chargers would you be surprised if we see them in like in a 11-5, 12-4 kind of playoff?
I would not be
picture?
at all. I have a good friend of mine that's a big Chargers fan, and I have to watch a lot of tape so I can keep up when I talk with them with it. And they have phenomenal defense. A lot of the reasons that they lost last year wasn't actually because of Phillip Rivers. It was a bad and poor offensive line play. They had no offensive line to block.
Well, now you have Justin Herbert, your 6th overall pick, and you have Tyrod Taylor, who are complete opposite quarterbacks from Phillip Rivers. They like to move around. Phillip Rivers, he's
a statue.
Yeah, the line play was bad, but quarterbacks who are mobile and they see the line breaking down,
they're gonna
move. You know what I mean? They're gonna extend the play, and the linemen, they should be doing better. But then they
got Brian Bulaga out of Green Bay, so they actually have a solidified All-Pro / Pro Bowl right tackle now.
Yeah, I want to say 11-5, 12-4, but I could see them
I could see them at 10-6.
The AFC West could be a very tight division this year for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a segment about it later this week because they did a list breaking down the divisions. We're gonna have to look at that because AFC West was 4 in that.
Yeah. Who now? My guess. Don't tell me the hardest division in the NFL.
Who
NFC
is the hardest?
West.
That's who they had at number 1.
That's who they had.
Yes. But I see the 49ers taking a step off.
I was about to say the same thing. I don't see them falling off far.
I see a 9-7 Niners team next year.
I would say like 10-6.
I say 9-7. I see the Cardinals being the second best team in that division. I say Seahawks and then Cardinals.
I'm still iffy on the Cardinals, man. I'm still and that defense is not really. I don't know, man. I have them being good. I like Kyler Murray. I probably don't like him as much as you do. You're really high on him. I got to find a supplier that's selling you that Kyler Murray stuff because, man.
Strong Opinion Sports on YouTube.
Man,
that's, quarterback analysis guru right there.
No, and then with the Seahawks, of course. And that's fun because you have Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson will play each other twice a year, that's entertaining football itself. With the Rams, I think they've had – Sean McVay era has experienced its peak by now. I don't know. Is that really the hardest division in football?
I think they're looking at off of last year's, and I think they're looking at it like, all right, they had a team that went to the Super Bowl the year prior and then went 9-7 and had a lot of faults. They had a team that had a crazy record with a bunch of defensive juggernauts on the team and the 49ers, and then as well as they had a team that has been a perennial powerhouse in the league continue their dominance in the Seahawks. So I feel like they just looked at it on paper and were like, it looks good on paper.
I mean, 2 of the 4 teams in the division have been in the last 2 Super Bowls, have represented the NFC, and with Seattle being...
And then lost to the GOATs, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
To the GOATs.
The GOATs.
Mahomes. Oh, we had a question. Would you have Mahomes or would you have Brady at 29? Would you have Mahomes now or Brady at 29 when he threw those 50 touchdowns?
Yeah, we did.
That's a debate. That's a debate in itself. No, but with NFC West, man, I don't think it's as hard. It's going to be as hard this year coming up as last year. Now, give me one more according to Madden before we are headed off, man.
According to Madden, the Steelers have a better offense than defense. That was the best one. I had to save the best for last.
And you know what?
That don't even make any sense, man.
Now, let me see. You said the best for last? That's the best for last?
Yeah, according to Madden, the Steelers have a better offense.
They have Minkah Fitzpatrick at an 87 overall, which is more like a 94. I think they only did that, though, because Big Ben's going to be back. But still, even with Big Ben coming back,
he wasn't even the top. He wasn't even a 90 overall quarterback this year.
Like, the offense is nowhere near to what the defense is at. I don't care. And I know Mike Tomlin is a wide receiver a guru, You know, it seems like every wide receiver they get throughout that system, as long as Ben Roethlisberger is passing to them. He's not a quarterback guru. He's a wide receiver guru. And I think you need a quarterback before you have a wide receiver.
All I have to say on that one is I'm really excited to see because Deontay Johnson emerged last year for the Steelers. So I want to see what he can do with Big Ben and as well as Juju.
Hey, man, it's going to be very exciting. Hopefully we have it. Don't expect anything because nothing's promised. Hey, this is Stacks and Shaggy on Be On There Network, part of the GoMileHigh.com. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us.